Hello guys, and welcome to another redstone tutorial with Cass on the Maizuma channel. Today we're going to learn how to build these 5x5 glass door. I made you guys a showcase lately. Well, it's a pretty cool door, very compact and faster than most 5x5 glass doors that I've seen so far. So yeah, this is a complex build, so I'll probably make a bunch of mistakes, but don't worry guys, we're going to fix all of them in the end of the video. I will make sure that everything works in this video, and I will also provide you guys with a link so you guys can download this map and check wherever you want. If you need any extra help, just post in the comments section. Keep in mind that this was built in Minecraft 1.8, and I also made sure that it works in Minecraft 1.8.4, but yeah, if you're building in any other version, I cannot ensure you that this is going to work. So anyways, just let me know if you have any issues with this door. You probably will have, because Minecraft just breaks everything over the updates. So yeah, let's get started. Okay guys, are you guys prepared for a long tutorial? So let's do it. The first thing you might want to do is decide where you want your 5x5 frame to be, and this is where the glass blocks will be yeah, installed. So down here, not counting this line, dig 7 blocks down and place 5 regular pistons facing up, just like this. And then here we will have 4 layers of glass, so those are 2 and 4 layers, and here's going to be the floor. This piece of floor is going to replace that floor up there, and down here you have to place upside down sticky pistons. So this is it for the bottom. From the top of the frame, count 5 blocks up and start placing upside down sticky pistons like this. You have to place 5 rows of them, so just like this. And here we will also need a double extender, so place 10 more pistons just like this. Yeah, I'm not going to do a list of materials because you're just going to need too many of them. I don't know. From the upper portion of the double extenders, count 1 block and place a furnace. And from this line with the glass line, count also 2 blocks and place another furnace. Do the same on both sides. Place a regular piston upside down with the furnace, and then another one here. And down here, start placing 5 pistons, regular pistons, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And place 1 regular block here and 5 redstone blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this guy here. So it looks like this. Do the same on the opposite side, but you're not going to need the redstone blocks here because this tape is going to run back and forth just like this. We're going to have to use a bunch of furnaces in this build, so make sure to craft a lot of furnaces for that. Even temporary furnaces will be required for everything to work. So now let's start placing a few power lines. Let's now move to the back side of the build and just place 3 lines of blocks just like this. The first one, aligned with the bottom pistons, will have just a redstone line, and the other 2 will have repeaters, all of them set on 1 tick, just like this. Still at the back side, build 3 platforms just like this. This one is going to be your ceiling, and they just have repeaters and redstone dust. So yeah, 15 repeaters and 15 pieces of redstone dust. Yeah, just like this. The last thing we need for our piston layout is the piston tape at the floor level. So use this L shape as a reference and place a regular piston here and another one facing this direction. And on the other side, place a regular piston right here and another one here. And here you can place glass just like this. So 4 glass blocks here and 1 glass block here, and this is going to be part of the door when it closes. A few important things that I need to mention. Those blocks on top of the piston worm need to be solid for the piston worm to work, and those blocks don't need to, but those need. You need blocks here as well for the piston tape, and you need also 1 block here, otherwise this tape is not going to reach enough blocks. And before we start working with the control system, it's a good idea to prevent any pistons from moving. So I'm just going to use bedrock here because it will be in a different color, so you guys know what are the permanent furnaces and what are temporary blocks. So yeah, just add those blocks here to prevent any movement from happening. Yeah, this should prevent both movements. So yeah, this basically blocks the quintuple extender and the double and the piston tape and this other piston tape here. So yeah, we are ready to do the hard part. Alright guys, make sure that your build looks like this so far. And well, one recommendation, I already messed it up the first time, so my recommendation is watch the entire tutorial before you build this thing, and then when you're going to build, watch it again, so you guys can know where to fix things. And watching this on PC is a good idea because I will add annotations to try to prevent you guys from doing the same mistakes I do here. Alright, count 2 blocks from this furnace, and this is where our input is going to be. So place this and a torch here. Now we will need a pair of hoppers. Just hold shift and connect them just like this. And we need also a regular piston here, sand, any kind of sand, gravel works as well, comparator, and do it like this. So this is a pulse multiplier. I explained how it works in a tutorial on my channel. You guys can check out the video description to know more about that. And now here place another solid block and 2 torches like this. So this one is off, and this block will connect exactly with this piston here. This is going to take a 1 tick repeater right from this, and here is where we have to do a little fix. So break those 4 blocks and lift them up just like this, and do the same down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We will need that space later. So yeah, just like this. And here the piston tape will use the same circuit as 2 ticks here as the piston worm down there to power the piston tape that runs up here. So solid block underneath that piston, repeater on 1 tick here, 2 ticks here, and then we can just do this. One very important note, this redstone line cannot point in this direction, so we will need to use a hook here because later we will have a repeater, so we cannot redirect it. You can redirect the redstone using a button, for example, but I like hooks because you cannot interact with them. So yeah, this is the wiring for the piston tape, and to complete the closing circuit, what we need to do is to activate those piston worm guys down there. Okay guys, let's finish the closing circuit, and for that place a movable block here. I forgot to tell you guys about that. And here is where the smart trickery starts. So you want this lever to be on, and inside this hopper we need 9 items to make this pulse 5 times, but instead of placing 9 regular items, we are going to place 4 ferns plus 5 snowballs. And the effect that this will cause is pretty interesting, because when items start flowing to this side of the circuit, let me break this, they will always have a signal strength of 1, which means that they will power only this piece of redstone dust. But when it finishes flowing, because of the way we set the items, exactly at that moment this will have a signal strength of 1 and this of 2. So which means it means that we can send signals through that and detect when the piston tape is done rotating. So you can block this off, but you don't need to. The signal strength is not strong enough. And another good idea is whenever you find room for it, place furnaces on top of your hopper pairs or hoppers, because things will break. This is a fact. When you are trying to build this, you will break things with your pickaxe, and items can fall inside those droppers, and this circuit requires a lot of precision. So if items fall inside it and they are not supposed to be there, things are going to be counted wrong and everything will break. So place a repeater right there and dust, another repeater, then we will generate a 1-tick pulse from this. So place a slab here so it will have no chance of activating this piston again. And then a small slab tower right here, and the input to the piston worm is going to be right here. So what we do is we send a 1-tick pulse down here to make sure that this is going to start moving up and not down, and later we start a clock controlled by a torch burnout right there. Very special one that I will try to explain in a moment. So this is going to happen when this piston gets this solid block on top of this. This will make a torch burnout here, and you just need a repeater here set on 2 ticks. That's going to power a solid block. Oh, actually we need to extend this line right here, because then we need to grab the output from the torch burnout and feed it back into this piston, just like this. So this connects up here, and yeah, this should be all we need for the closing. We can test this out. I will just break some blocks here. I would recommend you testing it too before you proceed. This is going to be a lot of work because you will have to manually reset this, but I assure you it's better if you test it right now. So get rid of the movable blocks that you need, and then flip the lever. Piston tape seems to be fine, and the piston worm as well. So this is the closing circuit. Alright guys, time to work on the first part of the opening. So beforehand, make sure to restore whatever block is responsible for not letting the door move any blocks. And let's build a torch tower with 4 torches, just like this. And make sure that this last torch is off. So place a sticky piston here, regular piston, and we need 1 furnace on top of this. And now solid block, I'm gonna use chiseled blocks so you guys know that those blocks are going to move. Redstone block, 1, 2, 3, another redstone block. Then here, repeater on 1 tick, and then dust here. Let me fix this. Now regular piston facing upside down here, and we're going to send this signal just like this. Have a repeater on 1 tick here, and those 2 lines are the same. The 3 repeaters on 1 tick and 3 more here, except this one will grab a signal from here, and that's why I asked you guys to have this column with solid blocks, because we need a signal to go through the moving blocks here. So yeah, this is the triple extension that starts the opening, and if you want to test it out, just need to remove those blocks here and power this piston. And this is what you should get. You should see 2 rows of pistons here, and air gap, piston row, air gap, piston row, air gap, piston row. After we do the triple extension, it's time for those redstone blocks from the piston tape to get shifted in. So yeah, start by placing a torch here, and then 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and repeater goes here, and 2 dust here, then torch, solid, another torch, and here we will have a sort of dual edge pulse multiplier. Really weird, right? Yeah. So regular piston here, yeah, not smart. Regular regular piston here, sand on top of them. Now just place a comparator here, solid block, and another solid block here. So this is one of them. This one on the other side needs to be a little bit more complicated. We will need a slab. In this case, just place it like so. And don't forget our furnaces, and they're supposed to count 5 pulses. So once again we need 9 items. This time we don't need any special items except for our usual ferns to make everything more stable. So from this block we're gonna build a torch tower with 8 blocks, just like this. So 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this one gets a torch here. And yeah, so this thing will send all the pistons, will move all the pistons up and the blocks up, and also pulls this guy, and whenever it's possible it will send the blocks to the right. A small fix, this repeater should be here, and well, we'll do the same here with the torch tower, except that we have 10 blocks instead of only 8. So let's count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this guy gets a pulse from this torch. You know that you made everything right if the torches that are next to the piston towers are all off. Let's now finish the tape. There is one updater here that's very important. Yeah, it's on the third redstone block. Place a regular piston facing down, and here every time we get a redstone block here, we will send a 1 tick pulse using this simple monostable here. This is a very simple solution, but you guys would never believe what kind of solution I had before. It was very complex. Getting this pulse was very complex. This is wow. I don't even have words to describe how much easier I made it. So now place 2 pieces of redstone dust here, a solid block, oops, a repeater, and this line is going to be used to send the signal to the other side, and it's also going to be used by the double extender, and we can actually wire the double extender. Ta-da! The double extender is finished. And on this side, well, I think it's done. I think it's all we need for this side. So yeah, we can test this by getting rid of this and this. Make sure that this power line is on, then install a lever here and flip it. So if everything is okay now, we will see 5 redstone blocks here, and if we flip this again, 3, 4, 5, yeah, so it works perfectly. Now we have our redstone piston tape working, and as soon as those blocks get in place, we need to activate our double extender. The way we are going to do that is also quite smart, very smart tricks here. we will have a hopper timer here, because this is going to be activated as soon as we get a one tick pulse here, so as soon as the triple extender starts working. So here we will place exactly 8 items. They have to be ferns, and after all those items flow, we will give it time for the triple extender to activate and for all the 5 redstone blocks to get there. And then we will activate this storage burnout here, which will do an incredible job for us, followed by a repeater, 4 ticks. Then we need slabs here, very important, and not here. And it will connect to a torch, and then signal will be sent here. Cut this off, place another torch here. This pulse shouldn't be a problem if you have unmovable blocks where I asked you to put them. Then the signal goes here and returns here by the use of a torch, but I'm not going to place this torch just yet because we are going to use this for testing, and then we will be back here. Piston facing downward, sticky piston with redstone block here. And now the final movements will be done with this, which is a very smart trick. I will explain in a moment to you guys. So 4 ticks of delay, another torch, dust, another torch, and another burnout circuit. So we should have a problem here, because every time we pulse the shifters here, they will send a signal here that should activate the double extender and break everything. But this is not going to happen, because we have a special kind of one tick pulse that can go through redstone torches here. But here, as we have a repeater, this pulse will be converted into a regular one tick pulse, and regular one tick pulses cannot go through torches. So this circuit up here is never going to be activated. This is how we isolate this circuit. It will only be activated when we get a longer pulse, and this happens when this guy pulses here. So this circuit should be working now. We should test it. So let's remove those guys and also these. But you shouldn't be afraid of activating this, because this should be a working circuit. So let's just place the redstone blocks. It's very important, because otherwise it will break the double extender. So they are in place, and if we complete the circuit by placing a torch here, we have to wait for the 8 items to flow to the other side. Double extension followed by a single pulse followed by double retraction. It looks like it derps because of the burnout circuit, but it's not derping. Those are the exact movements that we need to have here for the double piston to complete the quintuple extension. So let's see this once again. Yeah, it's working perfectly. So now we need to connect this to one updater on this side, and this will complete all the extension. By the way, this is why we have a furnace here, so this guy will not freak out. Solid block here, and then another piston here. So whenever we activate the double extender, this guy will cause one update here. We can check this out. Did we? Yeah. Let's place the torch, wait for the 8 items to flow. Let's watch this block here. Yeah, so this will update the pistons when they are at this height. Maybe we can test this. I didn't think about that. Let's try this. Yeah, as you can see, they activate fine. Alright, so let's move on. I should keep reminding you to replace your unmovable blocks all the time, because otherwise, man, if you're building this in survival, this is going to be trouble. So we're going to do one second very smart thing here, which is, well, every time we shift the redstone blocks back to the left side, we also activate the quintuple extender, because the quintuple extender uses a pattern, and we just have to send 2 pulses to that pattern and it will do the entire quintuple retraction. And yeah, I will explain how it works in a moment. So count 3 blocks and place a solid block here with a comparator, then dropper, hopper, and here we can have our furnace here once again, and place a rail here. Inside the hopper, not the dropper, and make sure that this block is powered, we will place 5 items. And what this will do is every time this side starts pulsing, it will count for us. It will count up to 5, and when it's done counting, it will unpower this piece of redstone dust. And when it does unpower this piece of redstone dust, we will use a cauldron here and fill it up with water. This cauldron will generate a quick pulse here and reset itself. And on this side, by the way, we can have solid block there, we will send this pulse to a regular piston. Let me just grab what I will need. Regular piston here, and not hoppers. I think I've got everything I need. Not sure though. Let's grab a slab just in case. Then place your regular block here. Count. Yeah, I need a redstone block, not a slab. Now I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 redstone block, and then a repeater on 3 ticks here. Dust, more dust, solid, another regular piston, then torch. If you have the correct height, this block will connect to this furnace here. Repeater on 1 tick here, and 1 tick, then 1 torch, and then we're going to build this torch tower with 5 torches. So 1 1 2 3 4 5, and now we have something. Yeah, it's going to be really hard to place those blocks. Let's try to use support blocks on this side, and then we need to place hoppers on those guys. So hopper, 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 total of 6, and I mean dropper, 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 dropper. And this is the pattern I mentioned before. Hopefully I didn't break anything I shouldn't. Yep. Okay, so now from here extend those lines, place comparators here, here, and here. We need 1 item inside each of them. I prefer to use ferns because I do the right thing here. I don't want compatibility problems in the future. Dust, 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 then torch, torch, torch. Can we make a song with that? And then a bunch of solid blocks here. So what this will do is it will create a 3-tick pulse here, and this 3-tick pulse will send an item here, and then later those torches will be powered again, and then the item will get back here. So it will create a 3-tick or 4-tick or 3 ticks and a half, I'm not sure, but it's enough for this torch to pulse quickly twice. It pulses twice, then twice, then twice, with a delay of 2 ticks between each movement, and this will do a very fast retraction for the quintuple. Quintic, I don't know any English, sorry. I figured that since you guys can't fly if you're building it in survival, I should finish this side first before, yeah, any other thing. Whoops, remainings. So you see our piston tape here. So next to this comparator, you can hold shift and place a furnace here, then place a item inside. Of course I'm going to use a fern because I want to play safe here. Then slab here, a comparator going out of this, and then you can place this redstone dust. If you do this in the same order as I am doing to avoid updating pistons that shouldn't be, then solid, dust, solid, and now we know why we have this hook here. We can't have this piston connected to this. Let me use chiseled so you guys know. 1, 2, 3, and then redstone block here. Now place 2 blocks like this, dust, power it, and this is going to be a updater for when the pistons are here. Don't ask me why, but this was the hardest part in the entire design, getting those pistons to update and when they were here without pulsing those guys or having any ugly external updaters. Well, this was the final solution in my case, but this was really hard to make. The hardest part, actually, as strange as it may sound. So we need another regular connected to this torch, and now I'm going to show you the weirdest T flip-flop system I have ever done in my life. We will have a sticky piston facing down here connected to another one here and another sticky piston here, and next to this dropper we need yet another sticky piston. Place a furnace. By the way, this should be called the furnace door. It has more furnaces than I have ever seen in survival. And we need yet another furnace down here. Okay. So we don't need furnaces anymore here, at least. Place 1 repeater. Set it on 2 ticks. Just hold shift. Set it to 2 ticks. And we need another block here. Inside this furnace we need something that will emit a strong power, because this is going to, through this solid block, it will send power to a comparator that we're going to have right here. So I told you guys that this circuit right here is going to be activated twice. So the first time it does that, this piston will go down and 1 tick this guy out. And let me break this guy, and the next time it does that, it will come here and grab this guy and then return here, and when it's here this pulse will still be on, so this guy will pulse, and this is how we power this line. I had to use a very smart trick here, because since we have comparators here we cannot power any blocks here. This block need not to have any power, or maybe if we had dust here, but well, this is just the way I did it because we needed a T flip-flop here anyways. Yeah, so this is a very smart system that I came up with, and I am truly happy with that. So this finishes this side and the entire top part of the quintuple extension. Now we need 2 more things to happen. So if you guys saw the video, you noticed that whenever this tape turns to the right, the floor also activates a piston tape, and that's because this guy, the piston tape gets a ride from this pulse multiplier here, and we are going to wire this right now. Okay, this is going to be super easy. Just get inside here and place a line here, dust, and we will need 6 repeaters to connect this thing there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then here, dust, and now we need this to happen. Place another repeater on 1 tick there, so and then redstone dust here, so this is not going to bud anything out, and we have this all those repeaters so that we don't lose our 1 tick pulse, and then we don't bud or break anything here, and also it will synchronize the top part of the piston tape exactly with the floor, so the animation will be a lot cooler. Now let's move on to the last awesome part of this door, which is a device called a hopper ROM. ROM stands for read-only memory. So I've heard about chest ROM in the past, but it's the first time I've seen a hopper ROM in Minecraft, and I saw it on a design by ABH037. He's a quite smart guy. You should definitely check out his channel. So the way we're going to do this is incredibly interesting, yeah, to say the least. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a bunch of items inside this pair of hoppers, and we will control when the signal strength will grow enough to do a action, and this action is going to basically drive the door. The first very important action that we're going to have, by the way guys, place a lamp here. It's extremely important to have this lamp here. You understand why. By the way, one mistake I made here, I just noticed, is that this must be a solid block. Otherwise it's going to get powered by this other guy here all the time, and we really don't want that. So back to the hopper ROM. So this little memory here will do a lot of complicated stuff to us, and without it we would need to have a lot of repeaters everywhere. So the first very important thing that this is going to do is to wait, because this gets powered as soon as we flip the lever when we start the opening of the door. So until it's waiting, this signal strength will be nothing more than 1. And when it finally gets to signal strength level 2, it will be able to power this comparator, and it will drive this circuit right in front of us. This will also get to level 2, but when it gets to level 3, we will unpower this comparator here. And when it finally gets to level 4, which is here, it's not going to get any interference here, it will power the line again, just like this. So this is the configuration you need to use here. Let's see it from another angle just to help you guys build it easily, yeah. So for all of this to work, we need a certain programming here. So this is the programming. We need 9 regular items that can stack up to 64, then 4 items that stack up to 16. I used signs. I would recommend using the same items I am using here. Just copy this. Those items cannot be the same, they must be different, otherwise they will stack and they will not be the correct programming for our ROM. So, and what this guy does is it will drive the redstone tape, because this basically does everything. When we flip the redstone tape, it will also drive the redstone tape at the floor, and when it finishes doing this, because of this counter, it will also fire the quintuple extender. So every time we turn this, we do a bunch of actions that are kind of chained. So yeah, this should be all we need for this door. And now it's time to remove all those unmovable blocks and run our first test. Let's hope for the best, and if something breaks, I will debug it and just tell you guys what's wrong so we can fix that. Yeah. So yeah, I think I removed all the unmovable blocks. Let me just double check that everything seems to be fine. So the door thinks it's closed now, so it will try to open. Not sure if this is going to be a problem, but yeah, let's just flip the lever and see what's going to happen. So far so good. Yes, the ROM is acting. The ROM starts right now. Oh my. Oh, I know what's wrong. Yeah, this is not much of a problem. Let's see the closing. Yeah, we need to get the glass blocks in the correct place, but the closing is fine. Uh-oh. Well, let me fix a bunch of things here and then we will talk. Okay guys, I fixed it, and I made only 2 mistakes here. The first one is here. So this is a solid block, so this is going to power the opening when we are trying to power the closing. So let's just place this slab here, and the second one is up here. Apparently our updater needs an updater, so just place a regular piston here, and this is going to update this. Also, a few mistakes that I made when I was designing the door. So it was not wrong now, don't worry. But if you find more problems, one thing that frequently happens is that this piston is not in the right place, because something broke and then the door did only half its execution. So sometimes this piston is here. So if you need to open the door, when the door is reset, it always needs to be here. This piston is always here when the door resets, and sometimes this guy is here, so all you have to do is just send a pulse here. But it's not a problem. It is a problem that usually fixes itself. So with those two fixes, let's just flip the lever, and those are the only things that you need to change if you followed exactly what I told you in the tutorial. During the tutorial, one very important thing, you see the lamp I mentioned before, you have to wait for it to go off before you flip the lever, because the hopper ROM is resetting during this time. Then now I can open it. Yeah, it's working fine. You don't have to wait any delay to close it again, because the hopper ROM is not used during the closing. Yeah, so it's working fine. We can cover those sides with whatever decoration we want. Just make sure that those blocks are solid, otherwise the piston worm is not going to work. How are we supposed to cross to the other side? Maybe if we flip this lever. It's beautiful, guys. It's just beautiful. Look at the floor, synchronize it with the top. And there we go, we can hide the glass and the redstone blocks all at the same time and fire the quintuple for the last time. And blocks here. And yeah, I made sure to left some space here in case you guys wanted to include your input here. Yeah, so you can just maybe probably use a latch here, so that players will not be able to spam levers or buttons and break your system while opening. So yeah, it should, like a system that would wait for this lamp to go off, yeah, would be a good idea. So yeah, guys, this was a very long tutorial for the 5x5 glass door. I hope that you guys enjoyed this really long video. Please make sure to leave a comment if it works. If you built this in survival, I would love to know about that, so make sure to post me a picture on Twitter, comment on this video. I really would love to see anybody brave enough to build this in survival. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.